Good morning guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. We are back at the Shop CES Motorsport and we're going to be working on the Supra today, the Shop Supra. We had a package come in from the guys over at Oem Extinguishers and they sent out their new Supra mount and fire extinguisher for the MK5 Supra. So we're going to be installing that today. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. There are obviously a few different ways that you guys can go ahead and do this, but I think that this is going to be the easiest approach to it without having to take off too many panels. In order to get this accomplished, it is very, very simple, and that's why I really like this extinguisher. They also are going to be releasing one for my E92 M3. We're going to be doing that in the future. If you guys remember, we put the GTS rear seat delete in that, and they came up with a really cool, clean, OEM-ish style solution for me to run an extinguisher in that car too. So watch out in the future for that video, but today, it's not got this one on the Supra. First and foremost, when you get the package, you will receive the extinguisher itself, and then you'll also get a custom mount made for the Supra. In order to remove the fire extinguisher from the mount, it's very simple. You have a tab right here that says pull up, whole thing will come undone. And at this point, it's as simple as just pulling the fire extinguisher out of the mount. On the fire extinguisher itself, you're gonna see a gauge right here. This is gonna tell you if the extinguisher is still good and pressurized. You can see our needle is in the green, so we are good. In order to use the fire extinguisher in case of an emergency of fire, it's a two-part process. You're gonna press the yellow tab in and then press the red tab up top and it is going to spray. Of course, obviously, like the last thing that we want to have happen when you are out at a track, running your car, pushing it to the limits, is that you get a fire and you don't have one of these on hand. So the great part about this fire extinguisher is obviously the way that it looks. It looks really OEM, just sleek looking in the car, and it's super easy to use. So I'm gonna have everything in this video linked down below for you guys. With that being said, let's hop into the install portion of this video. Alright, so when you guys order the fire extinguisher from OEM Extinguishers, it comes with this little package right here, and you're going to get your hardware and everything. In order to do this install, you're going to want a couple of drill bits, obviously a drill, and then a pick tool to pop off the little plastic pieces, but for the most part, you can get it done with just your bare hands. It's real simple. So we're going to actually hop around to the trunk, and I'll show you what you need to remove first. Alright, so once we are in the trunk, we are going to remove the trunk liner and everything. That's pretty easy. You just go ahead and remove it. And then you're going to have this piece right here, which actually blocks you from getting underneath the speaker box or subwoofer box. We're going to be mounting the fire extinguisher right here. So we need to be able to drill through this and also get underneath so we can slide the bolts through and then also throw on the nuts underneath. So rather than going through and taking this entire piece out, which would require you to remove some trim pieces as well as some other things, we're going to take a bit of an easier approach. We're going to take off this lower trim piece, lift the top portion up a little bit, and that will allow us to sneak our hands underneath and fasten those nuts. So in order to get this lower trim panel piece out, we're going to first remove this plastic little push pin. We just pry it up with our tool, it should come right out. And the rest of this piece is actually held in by clips, so we're just going to pull from each side until the entire piece completely comes out. And then underneath on this metal bracket, you're gonna find one more little plastic push pin that's holding in the top portion. And with those two removed, you can actually lift this up a little bit, which gives us enough room to slide our hand under and fasten the nuts. Now, there aren't any wires or anything underneath this center portion of the top panel, so we don't need to worry about drilling into any wires or anything. Just be careful, you obviously don't want to go too far and drill into the car. Alright, so I had some microphone issues, but for this part, basically, you guys, we're just taking the fire extinguisher and we're going to measure between the two holes on the bottom of the mount. It should come out to 6 inches, at least that's what it is on mine here for the Supra. And then what we're going to do is find the center portion of this little channel on the top of this speaker box. And the way that I did that is basically just measure front to back and side to side until you're happy with the center, and then just take a marker or any tool to mark those two holes. The entire top piece is 12 inches deep, so basically 3 inches in and 3 inches in on each side should get you where you need to be. And all we're gonna do from there is just go ahead and drill our two little holes. I'm gonna start with a smaller drill bit, and then I will go ahead and move up to the larger drill bit, send that through. We're gonna find our two center portions. If you guys do decide to take off the entire top piece, the top portion of this box, on the bottom side, kind of cool, BMW actually has two little marked sections where you can drill through, and it will allow you to perfectly center and place that fire extinguisher mount if you decide to go that route. Kind of just a neat little thing, like they knew that some cars would have this, but if you don't want to go that route, of course, you can just do it this way, and it should work just fine. It's going to be a little bit easier this way. So the mount go up top like that, and there's these little holes at the bottom. We're going to send each screw through. Boom. Just like that. So now the mount is on. We have the two screws through, and I'm going to come on this side, lift this up, sneak my hand in, and throw in our nuts, which is not going to be easy, but it's a little bit easier than taking off this entire piece, which, you know, you of course can do. It's just going to be more work if you want to go that route. But if you can get this up high enough, you can actually just sneak your hands in here. It's not that bad. This is a 4mm Allen wrench, and then your nuts are going to be 10 mil. It's going to be really difficult for you guys to see this, and I apologize. There's not a lot of room back here. And so we're just going to take the 10 mil, sneak it underneath, find that screw, the bolt, and just tighten it in with the Allen wrench. Now what we can do is take our 10 mil, find that nut, tighten it all the way down to that one, and then we'll do the one further in. This one's gonna be a little bit more difficult because you have to really reach in there, knock that one out, and then we'll be good. All right, so once we have everything nice and secured, this thing not going anywhere. You can mount the fire extinguisher, so just go like this. So. It's perfect. I mostly really just like this setup because it looks so factory, it looks so OEM, and it just fits everything real nicely. You know, it's not too large, it's not too small. This is also the same one that you'll see in a lot of the G80s, G82s, the CSL. They have a mount that actually goes under the front seat. So you might have seen Viet Ho just did a video on one just like this, really good video, and he actually put me on with these guys. So you know, I reached out and I said, hey, let's do one for the Supra at the shop, and then let's also get one set up for my E90 M3 because I'm going for more of an OEM approach, and I think this is just the way to go. Really easy to use, and you know, like I said before, if you guys want to remove this whole piece, you can, but it's really not necessary. You can get underneath there with your hands. You just got to be, you know, you just got to sort of finesse it and make it work. But you know, 20 minute install, super easy. Got the trim piece, plastic push pin to go back in. That nice and clean. Alright guys, so that is the OEM extinguisher mount install. Dude, I think this looks really good. Very, very clean option for all of you Supra owners and just BMWs in general. You could definitely take this mount setup and pretty much mount it anywhere on any car. That's kind of why it's nice. It's a little more universal than just a Supra mount, but this turned out really good. Very, very happy with it. Big shout out to the guys over at OEM Extinguishers. I'm gonna have everything linked down below if you guys are interested in buying one of these for your car. Just remember, it's important, you guys, before you get into racing, drag racing, and even just modifying your car to certain levels, you should always have a fire extinguisher in your car, and this is a great solution for that. Anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for watching the video. Big shout out to the guys over at CES for letting us use their shop as well as their shop car. But that will wrap up today's video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.